Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you a way how you can create 3D models from scratch way faster than ever before. I'm going to show you a workflow how you can transform basically any 2D image into a working 3D AI model. My name is Philip from Pixel Artistry, in case you don't know me yet. And I'm really happy that in today's video, I'm going to collaborate with the guys from 3D AI Studio. But what does that mean exactly? Well, in case you remember, in one of my previous videos, I showed you how you can create from scratch a dancing stormtrooper and render it in the 3D program of your choice basically, all with the help of AI. 3D AI Studio is now building a tutorial library for their website. And I'm partnering up with them for an upcoming tutorial series, and since this tool is really useful to generate 3D characters faster than ever before, I was like, why not sharing it also with you guys on this channel? So basically, having said that, let's dive right into it. So to get started, we have to ask ourselves, how can we actually use the image to 3D workflow? And there are 3 proven ways how you can actually achieve it. And the first option you probably already know, it's Midjourney, of course. So what we will do basically is that we will go into Midjourney and then we go to the explore page on midjourney.com. So simply type in a prompt. I prepared the prompt already here, which is basically a robot 3D model, white background and full body shot. Let's also go for front view, so it's easily readable for when we generate our 3D character. And then let's try some tests. Maybe also we will choose the minus R function, which stands for repetition, and then replicate it for 3 times, and let's see what we get. So let's go over them quickly. For example, I like this one here looks cool. This one also looks really nice, like a nice fella. We even have here some flowers and stuff, which could be cool, but we can also remove them later in the tool I will show you in a second. Why not going for this guy? I really like him, so let's basically just decide for this one. Let's upscale it one more time that we have a bit more resolution when we will download him. Okay, great. And this is now our full result upscaled, which looks great, I think. And let's just download him through the download button here on the right and save into your PC. And this is basically the way how to do it with Midjourney. For the next option, you can actually use an image that you shot yourself with your camera or your smartphone. And this can become especially fun. It can be your favorite figurine that you have in real life or something else that you would like to see in 3D. And I actually chose this teapot, which I got gifted from my head of studio. So cheers to him. That was pretty nice, and I really like this prop here. I have it standing, you know, in the living room for decoration purposes. But I think I was like, why not transforming this guy here, which is basically a 3D model. So what you have to do is you have to place the object that you would like to shoot. You have to actually place it against the white wall so that there are no distractions from other objects in the background, that you then can isolate it basically. Once you place it there, make then sure that your lighting works. So basically that the brightness is okay, it should not be totally dark or something, so that you can read all the edges and shapes of your 3D object and that it's easy for the AI to recognize that. Place then your camera, or you can of course also use your iPhone for example, or your smartphone, and make sure to make multiple images in different angles. So for example, the front view, side view and back view. I will explain you later actually why this becomes so handy in the end. And the third and final option, how you can actually generate an image for your 3D AI model generations, is using image AI. And you think like, image AI? Where do I actually find it? Never heard of it maybe. So you can find it directly on the 3D AI Studio website, which is of course great because then you don't have to shift between different programs or shoot it yourself. So basically you can just log in and then you will directly find it under Image AI. And under Image AI, we can then simply prompt here on the right side under Generate your prompt that or your character that you would like to use. We can basically use here in the generate option also different AI image generators. Some of you might know them already. There's, for example, Stable Diffusion, PixArt, but also Flux Pro, which is the latest really nice AI model for image generators, which really competes with Midjourney on one level at least. So I prefer really to use the Flux Pro 1.1 and can really recommend it to you. By the way, if you want to know more in depth about the image AI model and how to use it basically, I created a full guide on how to use it. So definitely make sure to also check out my other video where I'm using 3D AI Studio, and there you can check out all the details if you're interested more about how to prompt and create really nice images in image AI. But basically for this example, I will just choose a basic prompt that I prepared as well. So we will choose Master Yoda basically. So from Star Wars, it's a full body shot, green feet, white background and a T-pose. Why a T-pose? Well, basically I would like to animate him later with Mixamo. So what we will do now, and to rig him basically, we will have to have him in T-pose. So the rigging becomes much easier and we can then animate him in the 3D program of our choice. For negative prompt, you can also choose here something if something is bothering you, but let's keep it for now like this. Also here we have the output resolution where you can choose your desired resolution, and we have under advanced inference steps and the guidance scale. Guidance scale is just basically how close the AI should follow your prompt that you prompted in. So basically how creative it should be, and this is just the quality slider over here. 30 is already quite high because up to 25 it can get to some issues. So basically I can really recommend the value of 30. So just make sure to keep that. Guidance scale I will keep to 7 or something like this, and then we'll just hit generate image and see what we get. And great, this gives already us a great first result. By the way, you can also always check out your images. You don't have to download them or something for now. You can always go back to your projects page if you want to see them, and then you can basically see them over here and always download them. And you have a huge library here basically where you can look at your previous images that you prompted. So I will just type in the prompt again and go for some more iterations until I'm happy with one of the results. Let's add here also maybe the front view, and this could maybe already work. I think it has quite some potential. Of course it's not perfect, but you know, just for testing purposes, that's quite cool. I think I also added here for you guys to know arms spread apart, so that basically we really have those kind of T-pose here for later, because this is really important. So basically you see it's saved to home, which is great. And then we will go to the final step now, actually, that we will generate our 3D image. So what we will do is we'll go over here to image to 3D. Then we can choose here different AI models basically, and there are 3 different options that we can choose. So there is a preview option, a sketch option and a regular option. To use any of them, we first of course have to upload our image. To do that, we will just go to the projects page, download here our generations on the top, and we see it's downloaded, and we can go to image to 3D, browse files, and then go to our download folder and basically choose our 3D character in here. The preview one is more based on, so you will get a fast result, but it's lower quality. V1 sketch is basically your default mode, which is really recommended. It has medium speed, a high quality, and is PBR shaded. And the regular one is actually a bit slower, I would say, but has the highest quality, and it's PBR shaded. In case you don't know what PBR means, it's basically physically based rendering. It will generate textures that are easier for the 3D engine to read. It's more based on real life values, and you can use it then. So we will go with the sketch for now. Okay, great. And this is our result. And I think for the first go and also for the sketch one, the basic one, I think this works really well already. We can see we have here even details on the back where the AI model doesn't really know what to do, but actually does a really nice job. you know. We have some small artifacts around the neck, but that's no problem. Also, we can actually take this 3D model and refine the texture, because you can already see on the eyes they are not working that well. But I will show you in a future video that will also come soon how you can use the texture AI over here to repaint your texture and actually make it even more realistic. But I think this is giving us already a really great base to animate it later. So definitely let's save that. To do that, we just have to go to projects and then go here to download generation, and then we have here the GAB file, but I will show you this in a second. To actually show you as well, in the regular option we have also advanced options, and also you can see here basically that we have a multi-image mode, which allows us to upload also multiple images. So this will get really handy when we will upload the images that we shot ourselves. So basically, apart from that, we have here material. We can choose between the PBR and shaded mode, which I just explained. So I will here almost always choose the PBR mode, so we will get nice textures. Quality, of course, we want to have high. So I would choose here the best quality possible. We could also enter a prompt, but I don't really need that for now. Also, what is really nice, we have here bounding box and TA pose feature. What does that mean exactly? So with bounding box, you could also basically create a bounding box around the model, and then you could scale it up if you want. So when we enable it here, we could choose here also the different axes like on X, Y, and Z. And then you could here define it even further when you want to have it in a specific scale. I will leave this off for now. But for the TA pose, for example, here we get this human-like model, which I just explained that we need a T-pose for most of the generations, and then we can generate one time the 3D model with this one. Okay, great. And I mean, look at this. Here we have our little robot, and I think when we compare to our image, I think this looks really promising. Like the texture and everything works really well already with the regular model. So I can really recommend to use this one, the advanced one. As a last thing, I of course want to generate the teapot that I shot with my own camera. So basically to do that is we will get rid of our robot here that we prompted in Midjourney, and then upload multiple images. Just to show you really quick how I did it, I had here multiple images that I shot, and then I took them into Photoshop just to define some basic images from the front, left, right, and back, and exported them out. So to do that is actually that we go here to use multiple images. Make sure that you are in the regular or preview. You can also check it out under preview, where you also see like front view, left view, back view. So here we will actually do that now. And then we will also generate the 3D model, see what we get. Note that this is here also in beta mode, and it's a preview. So let's see what we get actually. And we can have a nice comparison basically now between the preview model and the regular model, and see what does the better job. This was basically on the preview model. You see we have some artifacts here which are already expected, because this is just to have a first preview with this model. But I think overall the shape gets red also with this thing here. So let's look actually with the comparison now with the regular model, which will give us a much better result. So we will use again multiple images. Here you can actually also upload up to 5 images. We will choose regular here, quality high, leave everything as we had before, generate a 3D model. This will take about 90 seconds in the regular mode, so keep that in mind. And this is our result. So you actually see we have a more defined shape here. We also see here the back is way better. I think it's funny that it added here like this this extension from what we see on the top here from the TCAN itself. As you can see, the texture is not working perfectly, but we could also adjust that in the texture later. But yeah, this is basically it. Let's do also a test where we don't use the multiple images workflow and just use one, which was working also great in the test that I did at least. So we would choose the front 2 in this part where I named it, where we basically see the whole image and just use one, and then we generate the 3D model again. Okay, great, and we are back, and we see already the texture is working much better than before. Of course, here we have some issues on the top, so we might have to generate it a bit more often. I can also show you one test I did earlier actually, where I also prompted it, and this was way more successful already. So I think, as you can see, this looks really promising. We got most of the details right here, and we could choose the stand to refine it then later with the texture AI, and yeah, take it then into 3D or 3D print it for our own needs. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I think this is really cool. Just taking from one image basically and transform it like this is really impressive. So just keep that in mind if you want to use it. So we take now the Yoda that we prompted in 3D and generated, and to actually now make it accessible to animate and rig it later on, we will first need to process our character. And to do that, we will go to the projects page and then go here to over to process. And what we will do then is we will choose here remesh, and then we can actually export our format. And you also see remeshing is free, so it doesn't cost you any credits. And we will just go here and go to FBX, and then we can also go to merge vertices. That's okay. And we could also choose if we want to have textures as separate files, but that's also fine. Then we just click remesh. All right, and once we have done that, we can then just choose here. We see the FX version, this is all looking good. You can just here download our generation. By the way, in case you haven't known that, you can also choose to go to the 3D library to get some inspiration, for example. You can choose here then also to see all the 3D models other community members basically created on their website, which is great. You could also download and play around with them if you want. For example, you could here view them also in 3D, and you see how it was created and what nice models you actually can create with 3D AI Studio. Okay, great. And once we have done that, only thing we need to do is then go under tools, and then there's a direct link to Mixamo rigging, it's called. And basically you can just click on it and it will open mixamo.com for you. You just need to log in here. It's actually a tool from Adobe, which is free. Then once we are on Mixamo, we can then upload our character. Just select here the character file, and this is why we needed to transform it in FBX, OBJ or zip, and we transformed it into FBX, and now we can upload it. So basically just go on the downloads where you have it. I renamed this. The name will first be very confusing, something like this here, so I really recommend it to rename it first. And then you can click here open, and you can process the character. This will take just a moment. And now it's uploaded. We can also rotate him here. Here it's important that we have him actually facing to the front like this. And then we can just choose next. Then you can choose here the markers that you would like to have. So choose the wrists, elbows, the knees, here where the knees are basically, and the groin, and like in this image here over here. Well, so basically like this, and then you can just go to next here and let it process, and then you can see how the result will be. And to make our Yoda model even more refined, I prompted now also in Stable Diffusion, and I use arms that are really spread apart, and we have a T-pose. Basically, just figure out what works best for you personally, and this is the great option that we can choose here, different AI models that we can choose. So basically, I like this one, and I would just copy it over, take it into image to 3D again. Okay, great. And this is our generated 3D model. This is great for this test, I think. Also here we see the arms are a bit more spread apart. So let's take this one as well. Click here also on remesh, and then we can also remesh it here to FBX. Once it's uploaded, we can then just hit next. Make sure that it's always facing the camera. So when you rotate it here, it should be on the front. Go to next. Choose then here, like for example, the wrists, take those one then to left wrist and right wrist. Go here to the elbow, the knees, of course, where they would be like according to this image, the groin, well, and then also the chin over here. And then just hit next and let it process. This will take about 2 minutes. So yeah, you have to be a bit patient here. Sometimes it errors, so don't get frustrated. Sometimes you have to remesh the 3D model then, but most of the times this works then. Okay, great. And now it's ready and generated. And what we can see here, that we have it now also animated in one pose. And what we can do now is just we hit next, go here, proceed with this new character. The other one will not be saved, and then we will go just to next, and then we have our 3D model over here. And what we can do now is basically choose one pose here that we would like, so what our character should do. And I think this is looking really great. Here we have some crashing, so yeah, make sure that you hit one animation that works for you. I mean, here's an old man, right? So old Yeti, so let's go for the old man walk maybe. Which looks here a bit funny, but anyways, I think this is working quite good. So you can just then go here and say, you can also change here the animation a bit if you want to have it a bit more exaggerated or adjust it a bit. And then we can go to download, and to see the format, we will keep this as FBX. Make here sure that you select with skin, so we will keep the texture from the AI model itself. And here the frames per second we will keep at 30 seconds, or you can also change it to 24, however you want to have that. And then we can hit download. Okay, great. And this is actually the final result of like the 3D generated character. Of course, the texture is not working perfectly here, but here's also a version in my final version that I rendered now for you guys. You see, I adjusted that with the AI texture tool that I will show you in another video. And I will link it as soon as it's up, and you can see it then on the top here. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just reach out to me in the comments down below, and I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. So actually, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and see you on the next one.